Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And for some of you that have been on the channel for some time now, I'm sure you guys will remember the Wireless Weekly Recap. But for those of you who are new, this is the Wireless Weekly Recap. This is where we recap some of the information that happened throughout the week, and then we talk about some new developments. So this is episode 20 of the Wireless Weekly Recap. Let's get right into it. So the first story that I wanted to cover that I saw the other day, and I've been in the wireless industry since 2011, some of you know, and Apple has never competed on the cellular performance. They have never tried to be cutting edge on the wireless side. That just was not their priority. It never has been. They were late to LTE. They were late to the LTE advanced technologies, and they're late to 5G. And on this post, as you can see, a millimeter wave iPhone is not a sure bet. So we may next year not even get a millimeter wave 5G iPhone. That's not to say that we won't get a 5G iPhone, but the iPhone that we may get could be sub 6 gigahertz. That'll do low band and mid band 5G, but no millimeter wave 5G as of yet. Of course, this is not confirmed. But the fact that they are already talking about it, of course, you know, where there's smoke, there's always fire. So just take this, of course, with a grain of salt, but also, you know, just think back to Apple's track record on cellular service, and, you know, don't get too hyped just yet. Because, you know, they have been issues with some of these Samsung phones of overheating that are running that millimeter wave spectrum. So those are troubles that Apple could be facing in terms of how do they get their quality battery life into play with the new 5G technology. And I'm sure some of you that have upgraded, I got to give it to Apple. They have some really, really good battery life on this iPhone 11 Pro Max. It's better than anything that I've ever used, and from some of the battle videos that I've seen, it's just far better than any Android that's out right now, or any other you know, Samsung, HTC, whichever phone is out there. The iPhone just at this point seems to be better, and Apple has done so by really controlling their own product. Android, it's more of an open platform. They allow you here's the best cellular performance, here's this, here's that. Apple has been more controlled for a very long time now with their software and their hardware. And, you know, even this chipset that is in this iPhone now is restricted up to only 5 carriers of LTE, although this new Intel chip can do 7 carriers on LTE. So again, Apple is just restricting the modem, and they have done so for a very long time now. And it'll probably be the same with the Qualcomm next year. If they do include the Qualcomm, which rumors are very strong they will, it seems like, again, they are going to throttle that modem down to whatever they feel is necessary for the average consumer. You guys got to remember, the Apple average consumer does not really care if they get 200, 300, 400 megabits per second. They just want it to work. And that's what the iOS standard has become. It's, you click, it works. The software is now, I got to give it to Apple, but now their software is the only thing that's really keeping them in the race. The hardware is just outdated. If you're looking at the newer Androids, the Note 10s, on the hardware side, Apple's just not there anymore, except the battery. But a huge part of that battery is also due to the software. So I just wanted to talk about this part, spend a little bit of time on this, because of the fact that I know some of you are looking forward to 5G and won't upgrade your current phone until a 5G iPhone comes out. So on to the next topic. I have a little bit more of an update of the T-Mobile and Sprint merger. So yesterday I reported that the lawyers within the war room, is what they're calling it, between Sprint and T-Mobile, are confident that they can get more states to flip. But on the other side, they are also growing more doubtful that they cannot get any of the 2 big states to flip, which is California and New York. And without those, the lawsuit is more than likely going to continue, and we wouldn't get a final word on the merger until Q1, maybe Q2 of 2020. So that pushes things back again. It's going to cost T-Mobile more. You know, the longer this takes, the more cost they have to put towards the merger. So they are going to call it on their quarterly earnings merger cost related. And it's just going to grow. So a lot of analysts are now saying that T-Mobile needs to sit down and restructure the deal as it was originally announced in April 2018. Currently, as it is, it's just not going to be valued the same anymore. It just can't. Sprint is losing money. They're losing customers. Here closer towards the end of the month, the 23rd, I think the week of the 23rd of October is when the carriers are going to release all of their quarterly earnings. That's Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, and Sprint. And analysts are predicting that Sprint is going to lose close to 300,000 customers. So the company is just not going to be in the same state, the same value as they were in April of 2018. So there may be some discussions ongoing in terms of restructuring the deal between the two companies and of course SoftBank and Deutsche Telekom. So I just wanted to throw that in there really quickly, just to let you guys know that, you know, they are growing doubtful daily, which I think I mentioned in the other video, that the only two states that would be left would be California and New York City, and they just don't think that they will be able to flip them. And those two are going to continue with deep pockets. And of course, you know, California is one of the most powerful states in the US. So, or the most powerful state in the US. And they are going to continue with this lawsuit, it seems, and we won't be hearing anything until next year. So the final report that I wanted to talk about is, and I've already reached out to a few people about this. So this is something we've heard about DirecTV, and you know that Elliott guy wants AT&T to sell it or not dispose of it, but you know, to offload it, get rid of it. It's not good for the business anymore. But now it seems new reports are coming, and these aren't rumors. This is what I think Apollo is saying, like, hey guys, you need to, you know, we would like you guys to merge with Dish Network and AT&T run the company. So I don't know. I mean, the reason I wanted to bring this up, because this couldn't possibly work. AT&T just got a merger passed through with Time Warner, which was already, you know, antitrust concerns on that one, and what happened, they raised prices almost immediately. Now, if you merge DirecTV and Dish, you have no other competitor in the satellite TV business. Not saying it's doing that great anymore, but there's literally no competitor. So if you are on DirecTV and you know you don't have any access to any other service in your area, maybe it's rural America, there's no internet, no streaming, you have no choice but to stick with DirecTV. So I don't see this heating up here in the future. I will keep you guys up to date on this, but I see this falling apart. There's just no way. Dish is currently in running to becoming a fourth wireless carrier. I don't know how they're going to be able to pull off a merger with DirecTV. So I just wanted to give you guys my 2 cents on this, my opinion. I just don't see this going through or even being discussed any further beyond these reports. I think here, possibly Monday, again, we're going to hear that, you know, this is not true or whatever the case may be, but I just don't see this happening at all. Like not even to the slightest. So this concludes the wireless recap. I will continue this on a weekly basis now. I think it's necessary. We're getting into the holiday season. The 5G rollouts are ramping up. A lot more news, as you guys are seeing. So we're going to continue this again. So this was episode 20 of the wireless recap. We've already had 20 episodes. I know I stopped it for a while, but I had to bring it back. There was just too much news and too much to recap and talk about. So be on the lookout for episode 21 next week. I will definitely get that out to you guys. And then throughout the week, we're going to have more content. We're going to have more speed tests, of course. I got to get that going with the AT&T and T-Mobile. And then also be on the lookout on my Instagram. If you haven't followed me, go follow me there. That's where I will be posting most of the comparisons on the road trip to Phoenix and San Diego. It's going to be very hard to make videos. The vehicle is going to be packed with about 4 or 5 people, so it's going to be hard for me to push out any videos on the channel. But the comparisons will be live up on the Instagram, and then once I get back, of course, I'll make a recap video on the trip and letting you know who performed the best and such on the coverage, performance, speed-wise, of course, and then call quality as well, as I'll be making a few calls out there. So again, definitely stay tuned to the channel. It's much appreciated. Like I said, we're hitting our 4-year anniversary, which is big. Also, again, make sure you hit the notification bell so you're notified when I upload content like this. Like, share, subscribe here. Also, again, follow all of my social media outlets for more updates. This is Tyrone with Tech Life, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.